to Rome, there's a big storm. And had they listened to Paul, they would have avoided the storm. A lot of you, I'm sure, felt that way. You told somebody, don't do that. And had they listened to you, they would have avoided the storm. Or we've been in that position. We had listened. There's a whole bunch of trouble we could have avoided. Quit reading ahead. Just like all my A students in the class. Well, let me read all this while he's recapping. So, Paul was on the boat. He just warned them. They didn't listen. And he says, an angel of the Lord appeared to me, and this is what he told me. So we're talking about angels. We're talking about angels, where they came from, and we're talking about, conversely, demons, and where they came from. Let's look at the Bible and look at these scriptures. Today we're going to reason together. Come, let us reason together. I want you to look at these same scriptures that I look at, and let's figure out what it seems to be saying. So let's start Acts chapter 27. We have a lot of ground to cover in an hour. Should we read this?
Well, there stood by me this night an angel of the God whom I belong and whom I serve. Do not be afraid, Paul, and must be brought to the sea. God has read all things.
So there stood by me this night an angel of the God to whom I belong and whom I serve. So an angel stood by me, literally an angel. He's not saying I heard a voice or I sensed inside of me God's leading. That is the main way that we are led by God, the still small voice inside of us. If God sends an angel to you ever, that means you're in big trouble. Some big thing is about to happen. That's like when you were in school, the teacher talked to you, fine. You got sent to the counselor, okay. But if the principal had to come down and talk to you, all he took the papers and then he left. I know he'll be back, but what was the point of taking the papers from me and then leaving? But if the principal has to come down and talk to you, that's bad, right? Or if the head of the school district has to come down and talk to your family, that's bad. Or it can be really good, but it's a big deal. It's bigger than you didn't do your homework, right? So if an angel of the Lord has to appear next to you, that means it's a big deal. So he says, an angel of the Lord appeared next to me and told me that we're going to be okay. So we look back at Daniel. Daniel had a similar experience. He'd been fasting, and an angel of the Lord appeared to him to give him an interesting message. So we were just looking at that. So let's look at Daniel, who had a similar experience. Daniel chapter 10, verse 12, and the first part of verse 13 says,
Then he said to me, do not fear, Daniel, for from the first day that you set your heart to understand and to humble yourself before your God, your words were heard, and I have come because of your words. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood 21 days.
So he had been, for 21 days, he had been praying and fasting. From the moment he prayed, he said, I was on my way, but as I was on my way here, the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me. So there was a fight that went on. In the spirit realm. Now we know, we were discovering last week, he's not talking about a man, he's talking about a spirit who was ruling that area. So as the angel was on the way there was an actual spirit, we would say a demon, who was over this area in Persia. Persia is modern day Iran, so it's that region which is near Israel. So he says, I was struggling with him. In the New Testament, it references that, and we're just reviewing it. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12 says,
For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places.
So, our struggle, we think, is with a person.
Right.
We spend too much time focusing on a person. if I can just get rid of this person, if I can get rid, but instead of the spirit behind that person, or we spend too much time focusing on that gang down the street, not knowing that there's a spirit that is actually provoking that gang to do what they do. And so people walk into Walmart to shoot everybody up. Oh my God, it's mental illness. Or it's a spirit whispering in that person's ear saying, go get that people, you know. And if we can learn to deal with the spirit, that's our real wrestle. The spirit that controls that neighborhood. That's what we should be fighting, and not necessarily those people. If you can get rid of that spirit or control that spirit, then the people will be more in line, right? Okay, so in Revelations, so is this an angel that this angel is fighting? So this angel saying that spirit was fighting me, our assumption in times past is that it was an angel. We figure that demons are angels. So it was one of the devil's angels that he was fighting. One angel fighting another angel. That makes sense, right? The Rams versus the Chargers. Rams are not gonna play the Lakers. They're gonna play the Chargers. So we figure it's one angel fighting another angel. So here's a glimpse of the same sort of war, because this angel said that it took Michael, the archangel, to come and start wrestling so that I could be free to come to you and deliver this message. So we're reading about Michael in Revelation chapter 12, verse 9.
So the great dragon was cast out, that serpent of old, called the devil and Satan, who deceived the whole world. He cast him to the earth.
He was cast to the earth.
Oh yeah, he was cast to the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
So I should look at something specific.
Yeah.
He was cast to the earth. The angels were cast out, but it doesn't say they were cast to the earth. So he was cast to the earth. So there's this war that John is getting a glimpse of that actually happened in heaven a long time ago. But he's giving him a glimpse of this war. So the devil was cast out, and his angels were cast out with him. The devil was cast to the earth. That's what he was assigned. It wasn't a mistake. He was cast specifically to the earth and confined to the earth. But the angels, where were they cast? 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 4 says,
For if God did not spare the angels who sinned, but cast them down to hell and delivered them into chains and darkness to be reserved for judgment.
So remember last week it says, God did not spare the angels who sinned, but he cast them down to hell. So it says the devil was cast to earth. The angels were cast to hell. And they're delivered into chains of darkness to be reserved for judgment. So the angels that sinned and followed the devil when he tried to take over heaven, they're in chains. They're in chains. In hell. The devil's on the earth, but the angels are in chains. So if that's true, what are demons? What spirit was wrestling with the angel when he was on his way to deliver this message to Daniel? It wasn't an angel. It wasn't an angel that followed the devil. Because the angels that sinned are reserved in chains and darkness. So we're investigating what they were. Jesus gives us our first hint in Luke chapter 10, verse 17 through 18.
Then the 70 returned with joy.
So the 70 are, who are the 70?
70 disciples that Jesus had.
Yes, scholar. Give everybody a second. I know that you know. I shouldn't even look at correctly. The 70, right? So we always talk about the 12 disciples. And there were 12 main disciples. And of those 12 disciples, there were 3 that Jesus really hung with a lot. And none of you can hear what I'm saying. You're staring at my bow tie. It's distracting. Okay, so he had 3 disciples that he really hung with, but he had 12 that he spent 3.5 years with. However, there were 70 more people who kind of came in and out of Jesus' life during that time period. He kind of followed the list. They weren't quite as close with him. They didn't go sleep and eat and do everything with him. But he sent them out, and he told them to cast down devils and do all this stuff. So the 70 came back, 70 people. They came back with joy, saying, hey, the demons are under our control. Now he sent 70 people out because he didn't want us to think, well, only the disciples can do that. They were special. He said, no, anybody who believes, these signs shall follow them that believe. So then he sent a whole bunch of people out. So they came back and said, the devils are subject to our control. So keep reading, whoever was reading, so the 70 returned.
Saying, Lord, even the demons are subject to us in your name. And he said to them, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven.
Now, to me, this doesn't make sense. The demons are under our control. Jesus said, well, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. And they probably said, what does Satan have to do with the demons? How is that connected? But in Jesus' mind, it's connected. The reason that the demons are under your control is because Satan got kicked out of heaven, and that affected these demons somehow. Satan's fall and the beginning of demons, the rule of demons is somehow connected to that. And Jesus is explaining, well, yeah, of course they're under control. When I saw Satan got kicked out of heaven, I was there when he fell. And that's why these demons are under your control. But they aren't the angels that sin. The angels that sin are reserved in chains of darkness. So who are the demons? Who are the demons? So that's what we're looking at today. Who are the demons? We spent all last week establishing they're not angels. So who are they? Isaiah chapter 14 references this.